ikaw, guys. Gagawa sister. Mega love shoutouts. Mega love shoutouts. Yo. Uy, manag 8. Manag 8. Come on, Kagis. Come up, Kagis. What's up, manag 8? In the house. Biggest turn on and turn off, guys. What the biggest turn off and turn on? Come on, Kagis. You're not drunk. Come on, come up. Come on, baby. Baby, baby, come on. So what the biggest turn on and turn off, guys? For me, parang the biggest turn off for me is stinky mouth. Stinky mouth, Mary. Cog is in the house. What's up, Coggers?
Nothing.
You're not sober or drunk?
Little. Only little.
No, manok 8. I mean turn off. It's your turn off. You turn off. Turn off someone. JHK, what's up?
Oh, my friends come by.
Say hi to your friends. Long time, JHK, what's up? Big ups, Finland. Yes, big ups, Finland.
Justiin meni hatikoon striimiin. Mä laitan pois. Joutan muuten hakakas.
Oh my God.
Kyllä mä sen tiedän. Käykö kun järjestys? Oh, no.
Hi, was summer for a few days. So you absent my birthday, JHK.
Amore, kun se parempi, kun se on TV antaa vitusti.
Paljon parempi.
Hi, friends. Coggis crew, hi.
Me ollaan livenä. Me lähdetään.
Me taas
lähdetään. No justiin meni. Sorry. I have to go, my friends come by. Maybe I'll join you later if you 2 hours.
No, don't go. Stay there.
Yeah, but stupid parang.
It's okay.
Pakla.
Yeah, bakla. Hi, friends. Don't go, Coggis. Stay there.
Yeah, we have to because they want to drink first together and maybe we join.
It's okay. You drink like this. Far on the camera. It's okay. You drink like this. Far on the camera.
Sorry. Okay, later maybe.
Ay, nako. Damit. Ay, nako. Mga 8. The bakla is coming. That's why. So, what is the biggest turn-ons and turn-off? JXK. They escape. Cheers, mother. So I don't have gas. Gas. How about you, man of eight? You want to came home? You want to came up? Ah, hindi siya. Magic. 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 To be honest, I'm so late. It's complain. Complain? What? What? JXK? So the lady is complaining about your size like that? So the girls turn off or turn on? Wala, wala. Di ba? Oh my God, Manok, that's so, so, so big. 10? 10 size. My okay. All right. You know what? I need massage. My back, it's paining. Metric is Thailand. So the biggest turn off for me is smiling someone, and then Big E, what's up? OMG, it's Halloween. Halloween ka dyan. Good morning. Come on, Big E, come up. Anong Halloween? What's up? What's up? What's up? Come on, Big E, come on. Ano yan? Biggest turn off for me is when you go over for the makeup. Huh? I don't have makeup. My God. Just lipstick. Lipstick only. Nothing magic. Only lipstick. She reverted to my best body part. Oh yeah. Big is already said you my biggest turn on. Yeah, I like tall. Tall and then, yeah, come on, Big E, come on. And full makeup. I don't have full makeup, just only lipstick. You see? No full makeup, Biggie. Don't worry. Don't turn off. Come on, radio. Huh, paint? I don't have. Just remove already. Oh, see? Oh, oh. Just remove already. Only lipstick. How come paint? Oh, see? No. I removed my makeup already. Just put my eyelashes and then eyeliner and then lipstick. That's it. Planet Earth, if you have a procedure tomorrow, do you choose job to sleep in? Brave job. It's okay to be gay. Begin the house. Good morning, begin.
What's up? I just woke up, so
Why no live last night? What
because
happened?
I fell asleep. I fell asleep
Ah, I see. Mama hamster is there. I
rather
was
than rather than fall asleep during the show, which has happened a few times late at night like that.
yeah, also
It's-
Peter is there.
So, what's your biggest turn off, Honeyco?
Biggest turn off, smelly goose. Smell. Stinky.
Smelly?
Oh yeah.
You told me
And,
privately that your biggest turn off was a small wiener. That's what you said earlier.
and then how about you? What the biggest turn off?
Um, of all the people I met with YouTube, probably the biggest turn off was really bad breath. Sometimes people have a lot of either bad breath or body odor. No, it's not Mike Chef. Somebody else said that too. Who was that kid that said that they thought it was Mike Chef?
That
No,
same person. Oh my god. Not Mike Chef, JHP, that's Big E.
similar
Big
voice, maybe. Like bad breath. That's the big thing. You meet a girl and she stinks, and even if
Of
she
course.
uses mouthwash to brush her teeth, it's still smelly.
Mhm. Are you going to kiss with someone? Smell grossy. My God, stinky.
No, it's tough, and you look for
Even
excuses. If they make a move to try to kiss you, it's just like you know.
oh my God, if someone tries to kissing you, what to do?
I'll try to avoid it, and then I'll try to be as polite as possible. And then if they keep persisting, I'll just have to be, really straightforward and say, "Hey, you stink. Can't do it."
Hey,
I mean, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I'm not gonna go through with it just to keep their feelings.
yeah, just keep being nice, so you don't like to embarrass her or embarrass him, right?
Yeah, so that's one of them. The other one that was a big thing that I walked out on a few people was you show up, you're sitting out there, like let's say the Chili's restaurant at Greenbelt. This happened to me 2 times. I met somebody, they have an outdoor section, person sits down and starts texting. Just text, and then they never stop texting the whole time.
Uh-huh.
And so after about 10 minutes of that, I excused myself and then I just went. I just left. and went back to my hotel. And then about 30 minutes later, the person's messaging, "Where are you? Where are you?" I said, "I left. You can date your phone if you want. I'll find somebody else."
Wow.
And I left them with the bill too. They had to come up with the money for the bill what was ordered. So that happened twice. It happened a third time, but it was with a YouTuber, and I just kept my mouth shut because you didn't want it to spread all over YouTube. But I told that person the next day to take a hike. So that's happened about 3 times with the phone. So those are my 2 big turnoffs.
I don't know why if you're going date, no phone. Just take your time to your date, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, and then the times I walked out, the people said, "Oh, please, I'm sorry, I won't do it again," blah blah blah, and I just said, "Nah, I don't want to waste my time with you."
So that's a biggest turn off to you, really.
Those are 2 of them. I mean,
I'm
there's a
a
lot of them. I mean, one of them is when they act sweet and innocent, but then when the camera's turned off on YouTube, they act like big time sluts. They try to put on an act for everybody. That's a turn off. Those are probably the major ones.
yeah, mostly in YouTube, right? YouTube. I don't know a lot about YouTube.
They start to scream instead of talk.
Oh, you
I
like
can't say
girls, huh?
I've
Yeah, okay, you like bar girls.
no, never
No,
would go.
Last na naman! What's up, word of it?
Lost the Nomad was I didn't know you knew about the show Lost.
Turn off, not turn on. You said turn off. Turn on.
Turn on or turn off. So those are my 3. I'd say on a 4th one, which would be the last one, I would say is if the girl doesn't jump in the bed after one day. That's kind of a turn off because I'm too old and don't have the patience to work it for many, many days. They better be a little bit slutty. They scream in your ear. Yeah, that's not really how Filipinas do it, but they have their own annoying traits. Filipinas have a lot of annoying traits, like backstabbing each other, fighting each other behind the scenes. Honeyco's been in fights with just about every Filipino on YouTube at one time or another. They get really jealous, and
Yeah, I know someone jealous of me before, but never fight. Never fight. Her, her.
oh, that's great, Lost. Glad that you're here. I just woke up, Lost. Hairy legs. Oh, definitely. Hairy legs, hairy armpits. There's a lot of hairy arms. Go Bobo sister is here.
I don't know. Harry. Oh.
Yeah, you don't. I know where you have hair and where you don't have hair.
I go Baba sister. I'm jealous of gummy bears.
What are your turn-ons and turn-off? What's your turn-ons? You said turn on and turn off, right?
Mhm.
So your turn off, you said, was the smell, but what is your turn on?
Turn on with the smile.
Yeah, you have to say yours for a change instead of letting all the other co-hosts do it for you all the time.
Hi, Las naman.
Hello. What's going on?
I'm glad you're here because I can barely talk. I just woke up, literally just opened my eyes.
I'm
Right.
still working.
5:22, right? Biggie. 5:30 in the morning. 5:23 like that.
Yeah, I went up to go to the bathroom, so I'm not really officially up yet. What's your turn on, Honeyco?
Oh my god. I get turned on with the big.
There you have it, everybody. I told you.
Wow.
Yeah,
People
but you
want to know what.
you can't see that right away. So that's not. I mean, obviously afterwards that would be more of a turn on, but you don't know if a guy's hung or not.
Oh, but she lives in a virtual world at this point because she's in Saudi Arabia, so she's definitely going to see it before. She'll get the Glasso treatment.
What? It's K. Last word was wallet. Yes, I turned off with the ball. Joke lang. Joke.
Is that a big thing for you, Honeyco, that if you got to that magic moment and then you're in the room and then first time clothes go down, the guy has a little tiny Filipino size wiener. Does that turn you off?
If I say like this, Biggie, oh my god, just run. It's K.
Wow.
Seem like this. Stick. Banana
And that's
wallet.
you can't feel it, right? That's the big reason.
Yeah, it seems like a stick. You not feel inside. It seems like it's nothing. Hi Hernan, we're gonna shout out.
Okay, so small dick, and what else turns you? Or that no, you said that turns you on. The big one. What else turns you on, Honeyco?
Well, let's
Big
ask you like
dick,
this:
big wallets.
what are attraction metrics for when you like first meet a guy? Not the after thing. After you're in the bed with them, like prior to knowing if they have a sausage or not.
That's a good question, Honeyco. If you just met somebody, what would be the thing that attracts you? The main things that attract you to a man?
Of course, the face, and then the looks.
The looks.
Uh-huh. I love you.
Yeah, but what about the look? Like eyes, arms,
Hi, internet monster.
big belly.
She likes a big Buddha belly. Oh, she said earlier she likes height, and then
I like heights. Turn me
the
on.
looks.
Heights. Of course. Height, not 5'2", not 5'3". Oh my god.
5'2",
Not
what?
that rules out some YouTubers though.
Like how tall would you want to go? How tall
What's
are
your
you?
height,
Probably
naman?
just probably.
Naman, what's your height, naman? Plus naman, what's your height? What is your height?
I'm 5'10".
5'10"?
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
Yeah, that's good for her. She just doesn't want someone who's like an Oompa Loompa.
Well, is she tall? Like universally, women just want a guy taller than them for the most part. I mean, yeah, they would prefer like say maybe a 6-foot man, of course, but it's like
Close to 6 foot. 5'10" for her is a good height.
Yeah, 5'10". It's Like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", like that.
Well, how tall are you?
Not,
She won't say.
not.
Oh, you won't. I don't want to say it. So probably 5'4" at the most.
At the most.
It's doing calculation.
So, so the reality is, if she met a guy who was, attractive and had some of the other qualities she would look for in a guy, she would take a guy probably 5'5", 5'6".
She said to me privately before she wants somebody over 5'8",
Well, yeah, that's what she
5'9".
wants. Yeah, that's what like majority of women want tall guys. I mean, that's just a biological attraction feature for women. The taller, typically, the better. But the reality is, if they can find someone that meets their other metrics, confident, ambitious, some of the normal things women say in general, they'll settle down for a guy who's a little bit shorter, not shorter than them typically, but if they are just a little bit shorter than what they would actually like, they'll typically date that particular guy.
Yeah, I like tall guy because I'm short. So if I pick up short guy, and then what happened?
Long, bushy, unkempt pubes hair says hi too. Come on, you don't like it looking like a nest? Hi too. Come on now. A bird's nest. Like a
Penny.
girl who performs
Hi, too.
analingus even if I have hemorrhoids. I only know one YouTube girl that qualified for that.
Yeah, you told me that before. She's only
I'm not gonna.
5'2", 5'3".
Well, there you go, Lost a Nomad. What do you think of that?
What are we talking about?
The comment. The guys on the panel
Oh,
happy with a girl with a pulse and a hole. Maybe no pulse.
what is it? 2 tits, a hole, and a heartbeat, right?
Yep.
I mean, listen, if I'm a single guy running around and maybe it's been a little while since I had some, then obviously I would consider lowering my standards. But typically no. I mean, if it's someone I want to take serious, so I need a little more than 2 tits, a hole, and a heartbeat.
So no.
By the way,
You
Honeycomb,
know
I
what
told
I'm
you
saying?
I do that. I just dialed in my trip to Saudi Arabia. So I told you that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying you were going there. And a couple other places
I mean,
apparently too, which I don't recall. But
I didn't have it locked in, but I have it locked in now. So we will be seeing each other in about a month, Honeycomb. Yeah, I got to go to Netherlands first, and then I got 6 countries in Northern Europe. They're all right next to each other, and then down to Saudi.
How
And
many
back to
days?
Israel in mid-November. What's that?
How many days?
In Saudi, I'm not sure how many days yet, but we've agreed in principle to a time frame. So we just have to lock in some actual physical dates and then make it happen.
Okay, see you soon.
Yeah, but the problem is you're 2 hours away from Jeddah and Riyadh. You're like in some extremely remote area, so we have to figure it out. I am, Ernest. I'm going on a tour. Actually, I've been traveling way less lately because I've been just getting a lot of it done online. But yeah. The reunion. Yep. We will have the Honeyco and Biggie reunion.
The reunion tour, yes.
And
Yes,
Tonight
Malaki.
I'm meeting a well-known YouTuber tonight. Actually, hopefully we'll stream some of that as well. But are we going to stream in Saudi Arabia, or are we going to hide it, Honeycomb?
Big A, just only private.
Okay.
Don't tell them, just only private.
Well, I don't. The reason why I asked that is because the last time I was there, you couldn't go streaming with a female without getting in trouble from the government. And you said a lot of things have changed, but it's only changed in Jeddah, as far as I know. It's not changed nationwide.
Have you
Jade,
met up with Ken or heard from Ken?
tonight,
Did you?
tonight,
Oh, you're gonna see him tonight.
tonight, and Bunny.
Okay.
That's the plan. Honeyco, did you ever date or get approached by an Indian guy? Yeah, she gets approached by one almost every day because those are the people that are constantly asking them out on dates. They're the most bold ones in Saudi Arabia, the Indian guys. JHK.
You think that's because they've because I hear this all the time too, that they're pretty bold, and years ago since I've met them overseas. Obviously I know Indian people here, but they're not like the Indian guys from India. Is it, you think they're a little more bold because it's probably the least desired? So if they don't like actually take a shot, then they'll actually really get nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, they have about 1.5 billion people, right? So that had to happen somehow. Not by being timid.
I mean, statistically wise, when they ask women from around the world, like which men of which race they prefer, right. So Indian men are typically the bottom of the barrel of desired, nationalities or whatever.
That's probably why they're so bold. They figure they got nothing to lose.
Yeah, that was my question. You think that is why they're bold? Is just because they're probably lower on the totem pole compared to
Filipino, like Indian, because money, 5'6", like that. Right, Biggie?
Well, let's just say he was average looking, but a 5'9" Indian guy came up to you. Or where do Indian men rank for you? If you were to rank the nationalities of men.
Well, I can tell you what most Filipinos have told me is that they rank dead last on the list.
Indian guy?
That's what they all tell me. I don't want to date an Indian. They always say Indian.
That's like how they used to say it in old Western movies.
Yeah, I know. We look at that as an Indian. They look at it as a red dot Indian.
Sharing is caring is sharing. Yeah, go, sister, Malaki.
They want 5 to 10 guys to take on the girl at 200 baht. That's a lot of action.
So anyway, the nomad, where are you from?
I am obviously an American, but I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Now I live in Texas.
What's your heritage, though, Lost? If you go back pre-United States, where do you come from?
Well, like most Americans, were much. But if you were to take my actual last name, it's Spain.
Spain?
Yeah. If you knew my last
Wayne?
name, you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes total sense. But I am mainly Spanish, French, and German, just because of the area where the family came and settled in Louisiana. And like if you don't know, right outside the
French.
New Orleans there, obviously, that was a highly French area, but also a lot of German and French settled within that area, kind of in between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, that kind of whole area there was a lot of immigrants from those regions. So that's the majority of my family for the most part.
Do you like it better in Texas or Louisiana?
Hi, Joe.
They have their pros and cons. Obviously, one of the main reasons I moved to Texas was for the economy. Louisiana being my home, there are things I definitely like. I miss the food, for example.
I'm okay, Joe.
A little more friendly overall in southern Louisiana.
More cultural?
Yeah, just different.
Texas is full
No,
of transplants.
It's not that I like it. I don't hate it here, but if I had an actual choice where like the whole the pretend world of everything I could do would be grand, I probably would not live in Texas overall. I like the growing up in Louisiana and in Florida, because I also grew up in Florida. I miss the water, man. There's not a lot of water going on in Texas, unless you're in Houston, I guess.
I don't like the water by Houston though. I'm more of well, I grew up in California right on the water, but I would opt for Florida over Texas any day. For me. For my taste.
Noisy here, guys.
Kate,
My goodness.
how high Phil can? Turn on and turn off. Honeycoat gave her turn on is a big wiener and turn off is bad smell. And she wants the guy that's rich. It's her other big turn on. She wants a guy that's rich, but she refuses to leave Saudi Arabia. So it's hard to get a good read on her. You have water? Is that plenty of water in Texas? I guess it depends on where you live. If you're like in Houston, Corpus Christi, there's water.
Yeah,
But it's the Gulf of Mexico.
if you don't live on the coast of Texas, there's no rivers. I mean, there's streams. You know what I mean? Like here in Austin, for example. Yeah, they have the man-made lakes and everything, but it's all man-made. None of this shit's natural out here, right? So, other than like the little streams and rivers that flow around here, there's no water. Like when you grow up southern Louisiana, Florida, I grew up on the Gulf side. That's just a drastic change from what I was personally used to. And I mean, I've only been in like Texas like 7 years. So.
Well, if it's water that you like, you should. Philippines is definitely got a lot of water.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I actually. Well, one of the main reasons I actually went to the Philippines. For diving and. Of course, one of the main reasons why I used to travel was nightlife. I used to want to go and party, and beaches was, right up there, top of nightlife. I love, I used to go diving all the time. I mean, I can sit on the beach all day long, bro. Just grab a couple books, whatever. I can just hang out on the beach like all freaking day, and it's not a problem for me.
Yeah,
You'd
Joe.
like it here. We got an awesome beach right next to where I live here.
How are you? I'm okay,
Few
Sean
steps away.
Williams.
Hi, Sean Williams.
Sean Williams, the legend.
I mean, my place is super picturesque with a really awesome beach, but not everybody likes it. I talk to guys a lot, like breaking traditions. He wants to live in the mountains. He grew up in the mountains of Appalachian Mountains near northern Georgia. So he doesn't care about beaches. He wants hills and mountains. So everybody has, I guess everybody just has their own taste.
Yeah, we got our own thing. Let me tell you, that's a pretty area. I spent a lot of, because I used to do a lot of hiking, camping, that kind of stuff. So I've been all around that area, man. So the Pisgah Forest area, they're kind of North Georgia and where the Carolinas all come together there. Asheville and blah blah blah. Anyway, that whole area up in there, man, it's gorgeous, dude. I got some wonderful pictures, hiking to waterfalls, going down Sliding Rock Falls. He probably knows that. Everybody who don't know, I used to travel a shit ton all around the country for work. So I've been everywhere. So I've done quite a bit. But yeah, man, that's a beautiful area of the world, man. So why, I can't blame someone who would want to live in something like that. But one of my main problems too is cold weather, man. I don't like it. I don't want to live anywhere where it snows and that kind of stuff. And not that it's heavy snow within that region there, but man, it gets chill. I've been there during the wintertime. It's chill there.
I've been over there where Tennessee and North Carolina meet, sort of Smoky Mountains. There's some really amazing hilly areas. But yeah, I've been there in the wintertime too. And I was like, I want to get out of here.
Come on, Joe. Come up, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on.
Yes, come up, Joe. Let's see what you look like again.
Yeah, sexy Joe.
I caught Joe when she was on that one time. Only time she's ever been on. And she did a really good job. I am curious, by the way, how tall you are, Joe, because I saw the picture with you and Darren. And for some reason, I thought you were under 5 feet tall, but maybe you're really tall. I'm just getting it all wrong.
Did you mean under 6 foot? There's not too many men that are actually under 5 foot.
Someone is
Joe is a girl. J-H-O. Joe.
Well, I mean, when you said, I just heard you're under 5. Oh, you're talking to a girl.
Joe in the chat there, she's 5 foot. So how tall is Darren? He must only be 5'2", right? Because you guys were almost eye to eye.
I changed.
What,
I
you
don't
switch
like
sides? Well, how tall are you, man? Because yeah, 5 foot, 5'2". Darren's 5'9". I thought he was an Oompa Loompa. I thought he was about 5'2". Well, whatever he is, I'm planning on meeting him. He's going to be over here, I think, in a few months. And we're already planning on hanging out. And I'm going to destroy him. Keep him out all night long. All night long.
Did you know that a joke acrylic nails?
Wow,
That is
6'3",
my
huh? I wanted
My
to
ex
try
was
to do that. I've had many people try that, and if you succeed, I will give them a big time attaboy. Either way, I'm gonna Take them to all the cool spots.
Sorry guys, I'm in the kitchen. Someone smoked there. My goodness, I hate smoke.
You don't like smoking, Honeycomb?
No, my coworker smoked, and then
How about
I'm sit
marijuana?
down there.
Honeycomb,
One smoke.
do you ever smoke that?
Like that.
Do you do
Like
marijuana?
no,
You never tried it?
never.
Not in the Philippines? I think you did. You tried it before.
Yeah, man of eight. I don't like smoke really.
So you never tried it in the Philippines or Shabu?
No, never.
You just like getting drunk, right?
Who MJ? Big A, you saying I smoke MJ? Yes, MJ.
I think she tried it before Joe. I mean, she's forgetting that she was a party girl when she lived in the Philippines. She's a Manila girl hitting the nightlife, hitting the town. She forgets some of those experiences.
Mary J.
Mary Jane is another word for marijuana.
Mhm. But that one is legal in Canada, right? Legal.
I don't know. It's pretty much legal in the United States right now.
Yeah, I think it's illegal in Canada. Mary J. MJ all over Canada, yes, legal. Oh, see, that's why Big E, the one boyfriend on YouTube, she's he's too much in the because always use that one marijuana.
Well, a
It's
lot
not
of them. A
legal
lot of them do.
everywhere. It's not legal everywhere in Canada, is it? Or is it just only certain regions or states? I'm not sure what they call their regions in Canada. It's not legal everywhere, though. Is it?
Try that 8.
Joe Philcan from Canada says it's legal right now
Okay.
in
Oh, okay. I
Canada.
thought it was only certain regions.
Well, I think she lives in Toronto, so at least in her region it is. I know
Yeah,
Kanoi is doing.
I know a certain area because I've been to certain areas in Canada. I know certain areas that's legal. And that could have changed. I haven't been to Canada in 15 years or something like that. So I know at one point, like Toronto was, Vancouver was, or at least some of those areas. But I remember I went to Ottawa, was not legal. So I didn't know if they had changed it to the whole nation.
I know Kanoi said he was doing about 6 to 8 bowls of pot and hash every day.
Where does he live?
Toronto. They all live in Darren Dobson, No Time for Anybody, Kanoi, Joe here. There's a lot of them. I think even Man Elk lives in, I know he lives in Canada, but I'm not sure.
Remember,
It's Toronto.
we give JC also.
JC, it seems like half the YouTube community lives in Toronto for some reason. JHK says, I wouldn't want to live in Canada. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want to live there because of the cold. If you grow up in a warm weather environment, it's really hard to adjust to cold weather. Now, I'm going to have to adjust if I to live in the Netherlands because I'm sure it's not warm.
Karen's busy. I think,
He
yeah,
was on
Joe.
my show yesterday. Kanoy came on yesterday when I did a quick live stream. He has him and his girlfriend Joe have COVID. They're very sick right now. So they're gonna take the entire weekend just to rest.
Oh, nako. My goodness.
Canada's the best place. I don't think there's a lot of people who would probably have a different opinion on that. I think the biggest issue that people have in Canada is just the weather. I think that's the main thing. And it's landlocked. You know, it's not like you don't have the beach and all that. So it's it's mainly the weather.
Followed by the government.
Yeah, manakay. High paid tax.
But that's the part that people like Joe don't understand. That you get your quote free health care, but you're paying 50% taxes. The average American's only paying about 17 to 19% tax rate after all the deductions. They have free health care in Denmark, where Muggs' husband is from, but his effective tax rate, I talked to him and his friends, one of his friends works at the Danish embassy here in Manila. Their effective tax rate is 63%. So if you made $100,000, you're paying 63, and there's no deductions. You're paying $63,000 a year to be a Danish citizen at that amount. So that doesn't sound too good.
I have the healthcare. What about my sister? I have insurance. I have insurance.
You have free health care. It's good. How did you get that free health care, Go? I got my free health care too. It's called insurance.
Nothing free. Somebody pays for it.
Someone pays for it, and that's even the free one that sounds free because it's government. It's still paid for by
Yeah, coming out of your
those
tax.
exorbitant taxes
Right.
and fees, and it's the cost of everything. You buy a bag of potato chips in Canada, it's literally 2 or 3 times the cost just by buying on the other side of the border. I used to do it all the time. I was in Minneapolis or I was in Chicago, and I would go, and then I'd go to either Toronto or Montreal or Winnipeg, and I'd buy the exact same items. It was literally twice the cost. So you pay for it one way or the other. No free lunch. Yeah, you got it from your job. Mm-hmm. The glass.
Glass. Glass.
Now, how do you handle? You own your own company, right, Lost? So how do you have an insurance plan, or how do you deal with your own insurance?
Yeah, no, I pay for my own insurance. I actually went to the Obamacare. I actually went to the market and I got my insurance cheaper.
Wow.
So yeah, I used to pay, for myself for the longest periods of time. 4, 5, 600. It kind of vary. I change policies all the time. But since I have got the Obamacare, I don't know, 4-ish some odd years ago, 5 years ago, I guess, man, I'll pay like $150 a month or something. Because it's all, subsidized, out.
That's
I
not
don't
bad.
know. I forget how much they give me, like $400 off or something crazy like that. I'm like, okay, sure, thank you, Obamacare.
It's not bad.
You have insurance there, Biggie, in Philippines?
Yes, I do. I have my company gives insurance, and then I have a yearly travel insurance. So
Mm-hmm.
that insurance for travel includes healthcare. So I actually needed to use it last year. I ended up getting thousands of dollars given back to me. You have to pay, and then they pay you back. So anytime I'm on the road, which I'm technically on the road in the Philippines, I'm covered. And then if I'm covered by my insurance from the company if I'm in the US. If I needed something serious, I would just get on a plane and go back to the US.
You
Regulations.
work for an I'm sorry, that's kind of funny. Do you work for an American company?
I do. But I'm switching to Merck. I'll be working for Merck Pharmaceuticals, and that traces back into Germany somehow.
You'll be working for the Nazis. Huh? Is that how that works?
Something like that. I mean, I up until recently, I always thought Merck was an American company because it's all over America, but it actually is a German company.
Ay, ay, ay. So, guys,
So, girl,
What else is going on, Honeyco?
I need my coworker smoke there. That's why I go in the kitchen.
again, high. Ain't that like a punishment by death over there in the Middle East somewhere?
Is smoking punishable by death? No.
Well, marijuana. I don't. Or does she mean cigarettes? I have no idea. I know you were talking about marijuana earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
right? I have sinus, so I don't like smell strong smell and then smoke like that.
there's a lot of things that are punishable by death, but they still do it. And everyone drinks and everybody fools around, even though it's illegal. Yeah, she lost interest with insurance talk. Okay, that's probably a good point. So, Honeyco, why do you keep turning your camera off?
Why you miss me? You miss me in a second.
Of course.
I will can see.
You left them a tip on your colonoscopy. Wow, that's good to know. Kevin's getting a colonoscopy next week or two. Be more wrong. Is he an insurance salesman? Is that what he does for a living?
Insurance is just
So Hanika, you said there's alcohol there, right? People get alcohol even though it's illegal. And you said all the women, all the Filipinas are cheating, right? They're all meeting guys secretly and having
oh
sex with guys. You told me
yeah,
that 100% of women. So even though those are illegal, they still manage to do it.
100% cheater in abroad. Mostly guys, if the girls going to abroad cheating their husband in the Philippines, if the girls going abroad, same like that, doing. Find another boyfriend, girlfriend like that. Even is still alive, the boyfriend or husband said, "Oh, my husband died, passed away, ganyan, passed already." You know that what? You know that Pilipinas.
Tell me.
You know Pilipinas. You know. Filipinos.
You said they're all cheating, right?
Oh yeah.
How do they do it though? Like they can't go to a hotel, right, without showing documentation. So how are they managing to do the
No,
cheating?
I have coworker here and then have a boyfriend in Riyadh and then the guy come here sometimes
Yeah.
just rent a house for 2 days or 3 days like that.
Oh, they're renting like a private house, like an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm. And then the guy have family in the Philippines, have kids. No, wala. Where's Nomad? Disappear. Disappear. You know what they call this one? Kabit, kabit or mistress. Mistress.
Lost his signal.
No signal. Pay your signal. Pay your internet
Yes,
plus.
Ernest. According to Honeyco, this is not coming from me. I wouldn't say all Filipinos cheat. I'd say it's about 95%, but she said it's 100%. She said all of
Yeah,
them that are married
100%.
are cheaters, and they're usually cheating within 1 month of arrival. That's Honeyco's words. Joe's words about all Canadians are high. Well, they used to go up to Canada back when it was illegal in the States just to get high. So Canada is kind of famous for getting high. I
95
wouldn't
on the
know.
first
I've never been
5
high. I've never tried anything like that. I've never tried to get high. I've never even smoked a cigarette. So I'm not very qualified on that topic, but according to others, that's what they say. The women lost. She said 100% of the Filipinas that go to Saudi Arabia already have a boyfriend within 1 month. All the married ones.
Even 1 month, Vicky, 1 month. Oh my God. I have a boyfriend already.
Let's see your face when you say that. I want to make sure you're saying it truthfully. Okay. Oh, say a question, Big E. I'm kind of numb to it because I saw it many times. Would you mind sleeping with a married woman or someone had a boyfriend? For me, I don't care. If I'm single, I'm not the one cheating. Well, it's happened to me many times, JK, JHK. That's hard to say.
Yeah, somebody
I've
smoke. I
been
like
involved
smoke.
with married women many times, and because I didn't know they were married. So I had a girlfriend that I was meeting and banging for, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks. And then she sprung that on me eventually that, oh, by the way, I'm married. And it's like, and she lives with her husband. So I tossed her out. And then I was with somebody that was a YouTuber, I'm not going to say who, that after 5 months said, oh, I've got my man that lives in Australia. And he went there because he needed to get something like hip surgery. And I was doing it with her every day. We were going out almost every single day for 5 months. So it's happened to me 2 or 3 times. And then I just walk away from it.
We'll see.
Because I just think it's kind of a dick thing to do. You know, if I know that they're married, unless I mean, I've had it happen with this too, where the husband wanted me to do stuff like in a threesome. If everybody was involved and they were all consenting, that's a whole other story. But when it's a deal where the girl is cheating and the guy doesn't know about it, then I find out about it, then I'm kind of like, I don't want to betray the guy, you know?
That turn ups to you, right, Biggie?
Yeah. If they want to be open-minded and do threesomes, and if he just wants to watch me, do it with his wife while he watches and jerks off, that's a whole different story because they're all consenting.
LOL from Joe.
Believe me, once the word gets out that you got a big 10-inch cock, you get a lot of people asking you to bang their wife. It happens more than you think.
Not crazy, yeah. Someone asking you to bang her wife, and then because
There's a lot of deviant people out there that they get, let's say you're in a relationship and you're just doing regular, straight, normal sexual activity. Some people get bored with that. People are so addicted to porn that they want to act out these fantasies. It's more common than you think. It's one of the reasons why I don't watch porn myself, because I don't want to get all these ideas in my mind. I want to be able to use my own imagination.
yeah, but too
Is
many.
that what that song refers to? Ernest, Big 10-inch? I wasn't sure. I mean, you guys have heard that, right? I mean, I don't want to act like think I'm crazy here, but you guys have probably heard it or known somebody who got involved in that. Tell me the truth. Ernest, Manok, you know of somebody who knew somebody who was kinky or was doing swinging or doing threesomes, right? If I don't know them, if I don't have a girlfriend and I don't know, I usually fuck them on the first date. I don't want to wait. I'm not getting any younger. I want to get it rolling right away.
Yeah, same like Biggie trying something. If girls.
Yes, that's right, JHK. I mean, it's the girls. It's not her fault. Obviously, she's deceiving the husband. She's deceiving me. Somebody streamed that earlier. Okay.
Oh
Who
my God,
was that man, Elk?
what's that, Malaki?
You won't tell anybody. Promise.
Streamer. Oh my goodness. Who? Ay, nako. Maybe Biggie. Blank. Maybe eight the two girls. The two girls.
I like doing it with two girls if both girls are into each other. If it's going to be a competition thing where one of them's pouting, then it's not good.
Seven.
That's not just Western, Joe. The swinging lifestyle is very big here in the Philippines right now. You'd be surprised.
You can have boyfriend.
You get into the white collar people, doctors and engineers and things like that. You're starting to get people that are really exploring.
Wow.
The rich Filipinos over here, they don't have all the hang-ups. They're more Western already. So you don't see that behavior in the squatter area. You don't see it in the province, but you definitely see it in the white collar gated community and condo life. Hold on, honeyco. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back.
Okay. What Manang 8? Why blank, blank, blank Manang 8? That chismis Manang 8. Chismis. Yes, wali Manang 8. Cheers. Probably a one. Wow. How many ladies, GXK? 100, 20, 50. Uh, 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 uh. So funny, 300 plus. Oh my god. So, JHK, how's your banana? Anyway, you got 300 plus. Plus, plus. Janet, 300 in 1 year. See? That too much, man, Ernest, right? 300. 300 girls in a year. Joel learning Vietnamese in the shop. That's a lot, Ernest. 300. So a year, if 10 months, time is 300. So many girls. Janet is solid mover. Janet is said more than once. Once wins. How about you, Ernest? How many girls per year? One of eight. How many girls per year? Oh my lord. It's Start Breaker! Mega love shout out. Ha, Malagite, are you in the room here? Yes. Hi, Star. Which year? I mean, how many year? How many year? How many girls per year? Ernest, no secret. Ernest, 7 answer. No, JHK. Malang 8, 1971. No, I mean, how many girls per year? How many girls? Girls per year. So, Malang 8, if you have 300 girls per year, that turn off with the girls. Turn off. Turn up, turn up. Did you hear the story about the church in Frank? I don't know. Oh, JHK will tell. Yeah, come on, JHK. Make chismis in the chat. If you really had the generous. No, Star asking how's the banana if you have 300 girls for a year. Eh, eh, eh. Tonight, I celebrate my life for you. So how many girls, Star? How many girls per year? How many girls online? The VR. The further asked what you give your wife. I give her two BMWs. She doesn't like. I only have one LD.
I'm back.
Welcome back,
Star
naman.
Trapper. You really had 300 girls, you think?
Hello. My signal has been restored.
Maybe you not pay your
Oh.
signal internet.
Nah,
Welcome back,
you know,
boss.
I in and out of this house here, and the signal dropped on me.
You pay, you pay.
You pay, you pay, you pay, you pay.
You pay, you
We had
pay.
LDR. Okay. 1,500. Wow.
Boss have 1,500 anak on the sleep active.
Have what?
You know, boss.
1,500
Barry the boss.
girls? That's
Who, me? I haven't had 1,500.
no, Barry the boss.
Barry the boss.
I'll find any guy who isn't like sort of famous or whatever. I find it hard to believe they plow through 1,500 women.
That's tough to do. I mean, I'm nowhere near that number.
No, listen. When I was single, I did fairly well. Of course, I knew guys who did way better than me, and I still racked up a pretty good count, right? And you know, it's not even nowhere close to even 1,000.
Yeah, I'm way off 1,500.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how I could have gotten to that number, considering how many I did. Would have had been almost nonstop looking for it.
Yeah, if you're doing, I mean, if you, what was it, Warren Beatty or a couple in the, I don't know, what was the basketball player, Wilt Chamberlain or whatever. I mean, these guys are
20,000.
like I can understand guys like that doing those kind of numbers because you know they've got obviously the status or whatever. You know, they're always traveling. Women flock to them type situations. So I can understand those type of guys being able to rack up a pretty large count. Now, oh my God, no, listen, I wasn't, like I said, I know guys who did way better. I mean, like personally know guys who were just like doubled my number easily. And we were in a situation where we traveled quite a bit. So, I mean, you traveled for work too. So you know, it's not that hard to meet women when you're visiting other places, right? So it's, you know, obviously when you're in different towns and cities and all that kind of stuff all the time, it's a different situation. So I can't imagine someone who probably doesn't travel very often who can rack up even a couple hundred, to be honest.
It's definitely connected to the traveling, but if you manage to do, people always hear the number that I've quoted and they're always shocked. If you did it with one person a month over the 30-year period, it's, you know, or 35-year period, it's close to 500 people. It's not, if you say 500, it's like, it seems like the shock of the century. But when you actually run the numbers, it's
And
really
let
not
me
that
tell you
many.
what, having I would be probably close to what I did if I was it. I tried to count it up one time. I'm over 150. I don't know. I don't think I would be over 200. But maybe. Um, but that was one a month, man. If you can get a different girl each month, then that's pretty impressive. You know what I mean?
It is, except if you're traveling, there's sometimes they came in bunches. Like there was if there's 10 in a week, it's not like if you only did
for
one
sure. But I'm saying
woman
if you were to
a month,
average it out, 1 month, like when I was traveling, for example, well, I don't know about 10 in a week, but there was time I would have at least say a handful a month, right? But next month I might not get any, and then next month it might be another handful or so, or whatever. I mean, obviously some weeks, I don't know if I've ever did 10 girls in 1 week, but I've definitely done like 5 or 6 before. Where almost one a day, right? But not quite. But that's not like a simple task, right? That's like
no. But
it was a lot of
if you went on a
a lot
rampage,
of work.
if you went on a rampage and did 12 in 2 weeks, and you didn't do anything for another 50 weeks, okay, it still averages 1 a month. So if you take 1 a month and you go for 35 years, that's 420 people. So if you hear the number 420, there's a bit of a shock value or gee whiz factor there. But if you actually look at it, you're only doing it with one person in a month. It's really not that much sexual contact if you add it all up.
Well, I'm saying one different girl. I mean, obviously, if I was like, I wasn't having a whole lot of one night stands necessarily. Usually, if I was hooking up with a girl, it was multiple nights, maybe weeks or whatever. And obviously, I had one night stands and that kind of stuff. But typically, you'll plow them down for a few many days or whatever.
Well, the
Right.
question is.
But I'm just saying, depends on how you look at it. So if you take a very, very active married couple, let's say that they do it 5 days a week. Okay,
Then
that's 260 encounters in a year. And if they did that for 30 years, that's 7,800 encounters. So if you did 420 one-night stands, you'd actually be having a fraction of the amount of sex that the married couple would have.
Yeah, but getting actually being able to, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but there's to actually get a whole new person to have, as a guy getting a woman, that's not an easy task for men to do.
It's not easy unless you go to Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia.
Not even that. Listen. When I was in the Philippines and Thailand and stuff like that, I partook in the pay for play. I still wasn't doing that, right? I only did that. I did that. I didn't do it all, right? As far as the the paying, but just
what Biggie if I
for
did the
women is it's not that. I mean, it's easier in those countries, but it's still not easy. It's not like they're just you're gonna be. And especially something you want. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to plow through anything, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to stick my dick in anything.
Hi, JHK.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing?
All good, man. How are you?
A little bit drunk, but I'm good.
But yeah, you know how Biggie, you and I were talking recently, that stat, 1/3 of men are virgins or haven't had sex in 1 year. Try to extrapolate men actually being able to hook up with one woman a year. I mean, that's next, or one woman a month. That's next to impossible for the majority of men right now.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But it was a different time back then, because I got out of I started doing, I was 17, and then I took a European trip for an entire summer, and it just was a different time. It seemed easier then than it is now to make that happen.
Like when
How
I
old are you,
traveled,
Big?
and I was even traveling through the USA, it was easier for me to get laid when I was in a. We can talk about that effect. I heard it was called the Rarity Effect. So it was easier for me to meet women and bed them when I was actually in America, but just in a completely different state or city, right? Versus it was for me in my home city, right?
Yeah, it is for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what. So I'll try to explain it. So someone called it the rarity effect, if I can remember properly. There might be a different term for it, but what it is when you are not the normal Tom, Dick, and Harry in the neighborhood, or like let's say you go to the bar. Let's just say you sit at the bar at Applebee's, for example, and if people don't necessarily know you, you know, if you're from out of town, you're the rare person. Where I think this whole rarity effect came from. So it's like, oh, this is a new person I've never seen before. Let me talk to him a little bit. Oh, he's interesting. This guy travels. You know, whatever trigger might give them interest to them. You know, typically me just talking about traveling. Damn, someone banging a dog in the background. Typically, you know, the my traveling angle, you know, because I obviously I use that because you know it works. When I just talk about my traveling, you know, where you know I'm from a completely different place, it seems to be very interesting for other women. Like, oh, what's it like in New Orleans, for example? Where have you been? Oh, what was that place like? So it was definitely a conversation starter, if nothing else. You know.
Definitely. I mean, I traveled my entire career, and being
But
from LA, you know, Hollywood, there was a freak factor. You know, it was like a freak show. Plus my height, and it led into that all the time, even in the States. But you're right, back home, back in the actual city, it's a totally different setup, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
It's not
nearly
like I
as
wasn't getting laid in my home city, but I wasn't getting laid as often. Well, and typically you'd have a girlfriend, you know, so you know, even if it was like someone you only had for a few many months. But it's not like when I was traveling the road when I was not every night I was going out, but almost every day I had an opportunity to meet someone new. Like because especially when I worked on the road, and it's probably the same for you. You eat out quite a bit. Not that you eat out all the time, but you eat out quite a bit. So it's not uncommon, like the Applebee's chili type restaurants. It wasn't
Mhm.
uncommon to go sit at the bar, start chatting up the people around you, right? Because I'm very extroverted type of person, so it wasn't hard for me to start talking to the other people sitting in the bar. Next thing you know, I'm talking to the bartender's chick, or maybe a couple girls coming in after work for a drink, whatever it might be. I mean, it was pretty simple to meet completely new people. Obviously, because I'm in a whole new place. But yeah, someone called that the rarity effect. So no matter where you are, if you're not the normal, and it works for women too, but if you're just not the normal person within that area, like like when I traveled the Philippines, Thailand, Colombia, blah blah blah, we can name whatever place in the world, right? Oh, I've never seen him before, and he's different, and and then a lot of people interested, they'll come up and try to talk to you, like, where are you from? Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of, the overseas stuff. I'm sure you could probably validate that. It's like, that just come up and ask, where are you from? Where are you from? And then they'll just start asking questions about where you're from or whatever.
yeah,
Big
yeah,
E. Hey
Yes,
guys,
sir.
Big E and
Mhm.
Nomad, how old are you now?
How old am I? Is that what the question?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, like both of you.
I'm 49.
And Big E?
I'm 54.
All right. So you've been around, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been living in the Philippines for 8 straight years.
Do you like it or do you miss America?
I miss the food of America. I miss having Walmart and Amazon and Target. And I miss the efficiency of America. America is very efficient. And I miss the beauty of America. It's the most beautiful country I've ever been to. But there's a lot about America that I don't miss.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm glad I'm an American. I'm proud to be an American. Of great country, but
Yeah, I get it. But you
I
don't
love
miss
it here
having
too.
like an $8 coffee, right?
I've never had a cup of coffee in my whole life, but I don't miss the politics of America. There's a lot of things about it I don't miss. So I wouldn't have stayed here if I didn't. I could live anywhere. I'm allowed to live anywhere I want with the type of work that I do. And I lived here because of I was servicing Asia and Australia and the Middle East and everything. And I wanted to live in an English-speaking country.
I
And I was going to
totally
live here, or I was
understand
going to
that.
live in Singapore, and I flipped a coin, and I chose here on the coin flip.
That's great. I cannot, like, I'm not an American citizen, but like, I know a little bit of American politics. But like, in my head, it's all about like, it's only about like, fucking put the other side down, you know? Like, the left want to put the right down, and the right want to put the left down. Like, if you watch the
Pretty
news,
much.
it's all bad.
Yep.
If you watch Fox, it's all to the right. If you watch MSNBC, it's all to the other side, and that's what you
Right.
get.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
Sweden. Okay.
And when you live here, I don't get any of those. So it's what I like about the Philippines is they have a very bitter, hard-fought election. Then the election happens, and everybody lines up behind the leader. They have like 90% approval ratings their first 3 or 4 years. They put it all behind whatever the election was, and they all line up behind the guy. And America doesn't do
Yeah.
that. Everyone hates
Isn't
the
that
other side. It's polarized.
isn't that the son now of the old official, like in Philippines?
What's that?
Isn't that like the son of the old president of Philippines
Yes.
who's running
Ferdinand
now?
Marcos Jr. is the president
Yeah.
now.
But before
So
the last one, it was him, right? Like his dad.
his dad was ousted in 1986 with a people power revolution that they had here. But you know, most people here are not political. You know, I meet people every damn day and nobody talks about politics. Nobody asks what side you're on. It's never ever part of the discussion. So that's kind of nice. You know, you don't have to deal with all that. And I would love to talk politics, actually talk about political theory, like what do you believe, and this is what I believe, and this is what I believe, and have a debate without all the name calling and all the fighting. But that's almost impossible to do the way it is now in America.
That's like, I'm not invested in American politics, but I do like a podcast. It's on the right wing, you know. Louder with Crowder. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah,
It's
Steven Crowder.
basically,
I don't watch him too often, but I every once in a while. But I am entertained. He's more entertaining, even though he's very political. I find him to be a little more entertaining than
yeah,
he is political, because he was also a comedian, you know, at one time too.
I know he's funny and he's, you know, I don't take my political advice from him, but I listen and that's okay. And I form my own opinion, and that's all what it's about, you know.
Do you remember that Ernest Connell, the hanging Chad thing? That was like the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. They have people with magnifying glass looking to see the intent of voters if there was a pregnant or hanging Chad. Yeah, but the question about Philippines being a dictatorship, I don't see that at all.
Not me too.
I don't, and I don't see it that way whatsoever.
Like
You know,
harsh
if
rules,
it is a
they have it in
dictatorship,
Thailand too.
if it is a dictatorship, then fine. Because I mean, nobody ever says one thing. I'd go anywhere I want to go, say whatever I want to say, do whatever I want to do, and I've never been bothered by any official here. He just let you
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
just don't be stupid and don't do drugs in the Philippines, and you're all right. Okay, yeah.
Oh, drugs are rampant here, dude. I mean, I've never seen so many drugs as I see right now.
Yeah. But if
It's unbelievable. But no,
like
yeah,
as
I don't
Thailand
do it.
used to be, if you get caught as a foreigner, then you're getting fucked, right? You're getting fucked hard. They want all your money.
Could be. I've never done drugs my whole life, so I'm just not in that culture. But if you just mind your own business and do your own thing,
Yeah.
nobody ever messes with you here.
But
The locals
I
don't mess
did
with you. They
drugs when
just
I'm young, like 20, like fucking like 15 years ago. I did some drugs. But when
Mhm.
I walked in Bangkok, in Sukhumvit, it's still like, like I'm just walking back to my hotel like 3 in the morning drunk, and they have like police, stationed under the fucking underground, like the sky train. So they stop you and like, okay, I want to look all your pockets. I want to look this and that and that and this and this and that. I don't have anything, so I don't have a problem. But like, if you do have drugs on you when they do that search, you're
Really?
fucked.
yeah. Well, as far as being talked to by the cops, I've been here 8 years. I go out nightlifing at least 1 or 2 nights a week, and I've never even had a cop talk to me. I've never even seen a police officer. I mean, sometimes
That's
you go for
good.
months without
Like,
seeing one.
but in Thailand, you're not gonna have a problem if you didn't do something wrong. But like, if they
Yeah.
search you and you have drugs on you or you do something bad, then you're gonna pay. Like, they want all your fucking money.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, right? If you go to these countries, don't do anything illegal, and no one's going to
Yeah,
mess
yeah,
with
yeah.
you.
But there is I agree with that. Like, you shouldn't do drugs in Asia, never. But the bad thing is they have like, if you're in Bangkok and you walk on Sukhumvit, like the main road, you have like Nigerian guys who's
Mm.
like combined with the police. So it's like, if you walk 20 meters, you have Nigerians approach you, and they already have like a connection with the police. Like, we don't deport you if you make customers to us to fuck them over.
Yeah, there's plenty of scams. That probably happens in most countries in the world. I'm sure that happens in America. You just gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. Man.
So like, the guy comes to you and he says like, okay, uh, let me sell you some drugs, and like 20 meters next door is the police station. So he don't get in problem. But if you buy a drugs from him, they're gonna say like, okay, give me like 400,000 pesos right now, and you can go home, or you go to jail tonight.
Hey,
That's like,
listen to this little scam they try to do in Colombia, right? Colombia is the first place I'd ever heard of it. I've heard other people say they've heard in other countries, but years ago when I was in Colombia, right? So I'm riding in the vehicle with my brother-in-law, right? And some people come up, like in America, people come up next to you, hey, your tire's low, you got a flat tire, or something like that. They'll let you know, your gas cap's open or something like that, right? But there, what their goal is try to get you to pull over so they can rob you, right? So they'll come up to you, your tire's flat, right? So you'll pull over to check it, right? And then of course now that you're pulled over, they got sometimes they even have people waiting on the side of the road to kind of carjack you basically. So I don't know if you ever heard of that one before. So be careful of that one if you haven't heard that one. That one's probably
Oh, that was happening in Manila with taxi drivers. The taxi driver was in on it, and somebody would carjack you. And I had that happen to me one time, but I put a knife up to the driver's side of his neck. I said, "Keep driving," and he did. I carry a blackjack with me. I got to be honest with you. Somebody that pulls a stunt like that, the driver's going down permanently. Star Trekker, you don't know. Most people Star Trekker, they just come on a tourist visa and extend. You can stay here for 3 years, then you have to take a 24-hour visa run, and then you come back the next day and you got another 3 years.
I
This
got
is a
really
marriage
pissed
visa,
actually.
13A.
Like, first time
Hmm?
I stayed a long time in Bangkok. Like, I just didn't care, like I'm like in a rush. I grab a taxi. I just want to go to like Pat Pong from Sukhumvit. and the guy really fucked me over, you know. Like he stopped first. He stopped to buy his like Buddha statue or something, or like the thing you hang on the thing to be like for Buddha. And then I'm so pissed. Like I know it's my fault because I didn't ask him to put on the meter. But like when he stopped the taxi, he see like I'm like how much, and he's like 200 pesos or like 200 baht, and he see I take out my money and I have a lot of cash, and at the same moment he's like he locked the door of the taxi, like you can hear the door like click, it goes down, and then he's like changing the price, like okay, 700, and I'm like what? You lock me in the car and like triple the price? What the fuck, bro?
Well, just don't pay it. I mean, I've had that happen where I went from the Manila airport to Makati. Normally, it's about 200 pesos, like $4 or $5, and all of a sudden, his meter said it was like 3,500, and I said, and I handed him 250 pesos. He goes, "No, you have to pay 3,500." I said, "Bullshit! I'm not paying it." And he said, "You have to pay it." I said, "Go, let's call the police. I'm at the hotel. I'll be right here." I just don't do it. I'll pay him
It
what I
wasn't
think.
like a big scam, you know. Like normally the price is 100. He asked me like 400, so it's not like crazy. But like for me, it was scary. Just like the sound of him locking the door of the taxi. Like
Yeah,
okay,
but
you
you just
cannot
don't pay
go
it.
out.
You don't pay it. You pay what you think it's worth. Just because some taxi driver tries to gouge you, you don't pay it. And if people don't pay it, they get away with it. That's why they keep doing it.
Yeah, I
I've
know.
never
But
been taken down like that.
I'm a small guy, you know. Like I'm not a big guy. I cannot fight or kill anyone.
Well,
You
what
should
do you
join
think
a
he's
gym.
going to do?
Join a gym, learn how to fight, so you can fuck somebody up.
I don't mind the ladies or having fun or, but like I don't know. I cannot fight someone for like 300 pesos. I cannot do it.
I don't think they're going to fight you over that either. But the thing, I mean, for me, it's never happened in Cebu. Or anywhere else in the Philippines, only Manila. And it's happened in a few other countries. But I always try to use Uber or Grab. That I try to. And then I have private cars that I deal with all the time that go longer distances. So I already know the rates as much as I possibly can. That's what I use.
Yeah, I get it. That's good. But when you don't
So,
have,
well, I mean, just saying for future reference, if you have that app on your phone and you're in that bind, I mean, that's one way to make sure you don't have that problem. And you have a record of it, you know the guy's name, all that type of stuff.
yeah, I know. That's my mistake, you know. Like I'm the one who went in the taxi and didn't ask for the meter.
Maybe
That's
mostly
my
in
fault. But you know, like they still have like the taxi, you know, they have their names and like their fucking plate. You can take a picture with your phone and just like message. I was just a pussy, you know, like when he locked the door and like, okay, pay me now. I'm like scared, you know.
Well, I mean, it can be
I would have
intimidating. I
kicked
mean,
out
I
if
guess.
he would have locked me in, I would have kicked out his fucking windows, man.
I've had things. No, but things happen. Like when I was in Saudi Arabia, I think Honeycoat could attest to this. They sometimes you'll walk into a mall, and the mall is a family mall, okay, and you're not allowed to go in there as a single man. And some malls are allowed single males, and other ones are family malls. And I went to 2 or 3 in a row one day that was a family mall, and they said you can't come in here. It's a family mall. And I just was sick of it. I said, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you. You think that little badge is going to stop me from beating the shit out of you? And I told that guy, the 2 guards that were there, that I'm going to kick the shit out of them. Go ahead and get your supervisor over here, call the police. And they just let me in. So you get these intimidating experiences, and I try to follow, but if I get pissed off, I usually will just
I used to
bully my way.
probably you did too, since you lived in the LA area. I used to go to Mexico fairly often. So, the Mexicans would try a lot of the bullshit tactics with you. So, I kind of learned from my trips to Mexico, like all these little stupid, like the taxi scams and, that kind of shit, right? You just learn, especially once you learn the rates and all, if, like you made a mistake, like not getting the rate beforehand, like negotiating the rate beforehand. Obviously, going to they'll try to take advantage of foreigners in pretty much in any country you go to, right? So, yeah, you just go, you get in, negotiate, and then they try some bullshit. You throw the money at them, and then you walk off. And I've had to do that a bunch of times. It's like, that taxi guy's like, no, it's this much. It's like, I know how much it fucking is. I threw the money, fucking at him, and I got out the taxi. I mean, I've never had a taxi driver try to like lock me in, dude. That would be a large mistake on their part, dude, because they'll see rage like they've never seen before. They better have a gun or whatever. They're going to try to
Yeah, bro. But like, you have to understand, like, I never had a problem in Thailand, like ever, because I'm a nice person and I speak nice. That's like the one time I feel scared, because I'm like surrounded. I'm alone. I don't have someone to talk to. I don't have somewhere. It's just like I'm alone. I'm locked in. What can I do? I just pay and I get on with my life. It's just like, it's like $20. Okay, I pay. I go. I'd rather do that than have a problem.
Yeah, I understand.
Basically,
You don't want the
please.
confrontation, but yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
Janet, come here.
and then you're scaring me. Like you're literally to me, that's like you're jeopardizing my life. And if someone's going to jeopardize my life, well, they're going to get the rage monster, right? So I'm going to start kicking out fucking windows and doing all that kind of bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're alone in Asia, like the number one rule in Asia is you don't fuck with anyone. Thai people or Asian people will treat you great. They will be your best friend. They will take care of you. But if you want to fight with them, you will be alone, and there will be 20 people come to fuck you over.
I don't know.
Like
Maybe
that's
I've seen the opposite. Listen, let me tell you, I've been to Thailand a bunch too in my lifetime. I've seen some Thai people, fuck some foreigners up for, right? But I've also seen it the other way. I've seen it where some Thai person was trying to, screw over like a foreigner, and other Thai people came to the aid and started fighting the Thai guy that was doing bad stuff to the foreigner. So it's not always just a one-way street, And you got to remember a lot, especially if you're in a very tourist area, right? A lot of these, no matter what country you go to, if you're in a tourist area, they're reliant on tourists for their income. That's how they make money. And if they got a bunch of people, I even saw it in the Philippines one time where one of the Filipinos try to rob an American guy, right? And it's like, that guy's taking my money, and you heard coins fly. He reached in the guy's pocket, and you can tell he stole some out of his pocket. And the guy was like, he's stealing my money or whatever. And I saw a bunch of other Filipinos like start jumping on him and kicking him. You know what I mean? So it's not like always. But you got to.
maybe
But
in a
listen,
small
if
province
someone
that is going to happen. But if you go in Pattaya and you take a taxi and you start to fight with a Thai person, you're never going to win. There is always going to be 10 Thai
maybe,
people, 15 or
all
20.
I'm trying to say, if someone locks you in a cab, I understand being scared, but that is literally your life. And I'm trying to tell you or anybody else listening, if someone is threatening your life, you do whatever you need to do in order to survive, right?
Yeah,
So
but
you're already in a situation. Someone's locked you in a taxi cab. You're already in a situation that's good. Hey, can it get worse? Possibly. So what? A few other Thais are going to come over and threaten your life more than what's already been threatened? Well, fuck it. Whatever. They're going to have to really beat the shit out of me. Like that's never happened to me. I guarantee someone, if a Thai person, no matter what country I'm in, I don't give a fuck what country I'm in. If they're going to lock me in the cab, I'm
but my
kicking out
choice was
fucking
to pay
windows.
$20 or to have a fight for my life. So I choose the $20.
No, so if they go, hey, $20, I'll be like, no, sir, I don't know. And they lock it. As soon as I hear like click or whatever like that, I'm already in. I got to go to survival mode. Period. Like right? So I'm not giving you $20, motherfucker. You just threatened my life. You have put my life in jeopardy. When someone you into any situation, your life is now in a situation where, I mean, yeah, you want to pay $20 to get out of it, but if I tell you no and then you immediately lock doors, it will fuck you. You just fucked up as far as I'm concerned. My life is now in jeopardy as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to save myself. And I think everybody should be in that position. I mean, that's what the negotiation type, or not, the hostage situations. I say you probably need to fight for your life. It's more likely you will not survive, right? So if you're not willing to fight for your life, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, give up, give them money, whatever. Be a pussy as far as I'm concerned. But I'm gonna fight for my life. Because I've already been, unfortunately, I've already been in that situation in my life where I had to literally fight for my life one time. So I'm not just a guy. I'm
I
not gonna back.
understand your point, but this is not like a life or death situation. This is about $20, and like if I say no, I'm gonna be alone versus 10 guys. I can just pay $20 and it's not a big deal. I go home. Like if he's like raped my mom, okay, then we're gonna fight to the death, okay. But I'm not gonna like fight a cab driver for a few bucks, you know?
Yeah, I understand it, but the problem, well, at least the way you described it to me, like he to me, he threatened your life by locking you inside a taxi cab. That's where I wouldn't stand for it at all. I wouldn't give him time.
Yeah, but
He
if I
literally,
fight him, you know,
you literally have to get the whole fucking town or
yeah, but
now
like,
at odds. And I'm being serious with you. I would, I'm not going out on that situation for any amount of money when you threaten my life. You
but
threaten my life.
just understand this, like when he stopped that taxi and in your opinion he threatened my life, like where is my friend in that situation? I'm alone in Bangkok. He's a taxi driver, he have friends everywhere. I don't have anyone. Like if I'm gonna start a fight with him, he's gonna have 20 people come to his rescue. Where is my friends? You know?
Perhaps you don't know if he actually has friends. Maybe the guy's a scumbag and he has zero amount of friends. And you're driving down the road, so you don't know if anybody is going to help him or not. I
Yeah,
mean,
but why would
I mean,
why would I
I'll be,
risk my life to save 20
yeah,
bucks?
yeah. I agree. I'm not saying like you did wrong. I'm just saying for me, and I would recommend other people, like if someone's going to threaten your life like that, you gotta take action.
So if you're in that taxi, you prefer to smash his face in and kick his ass than to pay
There's a third option.
$100.
You just
No,
sit there and don't pay it. And then, what's he going to do? He's not going to open up the door and start beating the shit out of you. And most
no,
people are not, they don't like the taxi drivers. A lot of the locals don't like them either.
Yeah, of course. I
Because they try
think
to
so
play
is
this.
in Thailand, but like when you're alone, you're alone.
yeah,
I'm just saying that the option is not you
no.
have to kick the doors out and beat the shit out of the guy. You can just say, I'm not paying it. That's what I did. I'm not paying that. And I walk away.
So this is the way I see it, Big E, right? So like let's say he goes, okay, we get there and he's like, oh, you owe me some outrageous number, but like, no, it only costs, let's make up something. It only costs 500, right? And he's like, no, it costs 3,000. I was like, no, I'm only going to give you 500, and then the dude's going to lock doors, then right, and I'm not going to immediately start like kicking shit in. I'm gonna be like, you need to unlock these doors. I'm going to tell them at right now, I feel like you are threatening my life over a small amount of money. And if you don't unlock these doors and accept this money from me, then we're going to have problems. I'm gonna let them know before violence occurs. I'm gonna let them know you are threatening me. You are now. I feel like my life is compromised, and if you wish to continue this course, there's going to be action that's not going to be favorable for either one of us.
Good
You
on
know,
you. I don't have the same balls as you. Like I'm proud of you if you can do that to a stranger.
I've kind of had to. I mean, I didn't get locked in, but I've had them where they were trying to charge me absurd amounts of money. I told them, no, I'm not going to fucking do it. If you got a problem with it, step to me. I mean, I've had to tell guys that for just fucking step to me. You know,
I've never had to lock the door because they don't have that
that either.
most of the
That's
times I've
crazy.
been in taxis. But I've, multiple times have had to tell them this is all I'm paying you. And if you got a problem with it, you call the police and we'll ask the police if you should be charging, 12 times more than what the average taxi charges.
Have you been, Biggie? Have you been to what the fuck is it called? Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Many times. I was in Kuala Lumpur when the day Donald Trump won the election against Hillary Clinton.
Isn't that the most shit city in the world?
Oh, not to me. I kind of like it.
Maybe because
I did have
I'm
some
a tourist
scary
when it
moments.
comes, but I
Hmm?
fucking hated it. It's awful.
I don't know what would be awful about it. I mean, I parts I stayed in were very good. I mean, I was in other parts of Malaysia, in the island of Malaysia, not the peninsula. That I had some really scary things happen in the island of Malaysia, but in the peninsula, in
Yeah, I
Kuala
get it.
Lumpur, nothing at all. It seemed like the safest city, one of the safest cities I've ever been to.
Just like when like I never actually stayed in Kuala Lumpur or Malaysia. I just come 3 times for visa to go back to Thailand, But this city is like the most frustrating place I ever fucking went. For me, just personal. I don't know about when you stay long
Why
time.
is that?
Hey,
Why
can I?
is that?
I'm gonna interrupt real quick and say
Because
goodbye to everyone. Jump off
when I
here
wanted to go to the embassy,
Okay,
like
feel lost.
later. Bye, honey. Honey, Co. See y'all later.
Bye naman.
I just want to take a 10-minute taxi ride to the embassy to renew my visa and go back to Thailand. And the cab driver is like, okay, I'm just gonna leave the meter on and go in a fucking shop to change the tires and chill here for 35 minutes and you pay, leave the meter on, it's okay.
Hi,
And
Steph.
I did that, and then we're the big tower, it's not anymore, but the one that used to be the tallest building in the world,
Yes.
like the tourist attraction.
Hmm.
We go there and we pay. I don't remember in ringgits, you pay the Malaysian currency, but basically we go there to take our picture. Okay, here is me with the building, blah blah blah, and then we go home and he's like, yeah, but bro, the sun go down now, so it's 7 times the price for now. We're like, what the fuck?
I haven't had that experience. So every time I go there, I've either taken the ride sharing apps or I have
Yeah.
people that work in Malaysia that pick me up at the airport that are
Yeah, I get it.
working
We're
for me.
we're tourists. That's why it happens, we don't have the apps. We just grab a taxi on the street.
I don't remember ever taking an actual taxi because I have people that work for me in there, and they always chauffeur me everywhere. And then if I'm by myself at the hotel or something, and I want to go somewhere, I just use one of the apps. So I don't know that I've ever taken a metered taxi in Malaysia. I don't remember doing that.
That's my only advice. Don't do that.
I try not to because of this very thing we're talking about. So everywhere I go, I already have those apps. So like when I've been in, like in the Middle East, let's say it's Uber or whatever, I forgot the name. They have a thing called Kareem. They have different ones, different countries, and you just have them take you everywhere. There was times in Dubai I took a limousine from Dubai to Abu Dhabi because the price for a limousine was only like $20 more than taking a taxi. So
Yeah, but that's all right. When it doesn't matter what you pay if you're happy with it. But when you feel scammed
yeah.
or bullshitted for being a tourist or that's the shitty part. If you're happy, you can pay. It's okay. But when you're like, just only like scam, okay, you're a foreigner, pay this now, pay that, fuck you, go away, give me money. That's fucked.
That doesn't happen when you live in the country. Like I've lived in the Philippines for so long that I'm immune to all the attempts. It doesn't faze me anymore. I know when people come here for the first time, they're often shocked with all the scams and begging that goes on and stuff like that. But when you live here, you're kind of immune to it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I stayed 3 years in Thailand. Like, I don't know everything, but what I know is I fucking hate Indian people trying to drag me in their fucking shop.
Because
Like,
maybe they don't know you have a money. That's
hello,
why
my
they
friend. Come, come, come,
some
come.
people take money because you have.
Well, if I live a Western lifestyle in the Philippines, so if I lived like a Filipino, it'd be a whole different ball game, I guess. But
Biggie, can I ask you a question? Like, in
yes,
Philippines, what city do you stay now?
Cebu,
Like, Manila, Cebu.
Cebu.
I just want to ask, like, if you have a Western condo, like, you have an oven, you have a kitchen, you have a washing machine, you have AC, how much do you pay a month? Like $500 or more or less?
No, my condo was $1,200 a month,
Oh, that's pretty
60,000
fancy.
pesos. Yep. And then my house, which I have a house where I'm at right at this moment, which is right on the beach in Lapu-Lapu, is about, let's see, in dollars or euros, let's say it would be 700. A house is a
Uh,
lot cheaper here than a condo. Condos are very expensive in the Philippines.
have you been to El Nido, Palawan?
Oh yeah, I've been all over the Philippines.
That's like the one place I really wanted to visit, like on my bucket list. It looks so good.
It's awesome, and so is Boracay, Bohol.
Yeah,
There's a few places.
Boracay, I don't have a feeling for it because like in Thailand, it's same as Maya Bay, like the beach movie. You go, it's fucking
Yeah.
amazing, but there is fucking tourists all over the place.
Yeah,
El
there's
Nido's full of tourists too, though. El Nido's overrun with tourists.
It
Baguio
is.
was just a Baguio. It was overrun with tourists. Every place in the Philippines is overrun with tourists that are good because there's not that many good places. There's only a
Yeah,
few
exactly.
developed places for tourism in the Philippines and a lot of these countries, so they get overrun. Unless you have a place like Bali, Bali is more than 1,000 times the size of Boracay, so they have a lot more ways you can spread out. Yes, I've been to southwestern in Mindanao, Philip Janik. I've been to south west and southeast,
But
all over
Palawan,
southern
that's
India and
that's
Mindanao.
Muslim area, right?
Yeah, I've been to all the Muslim areas. I used to go to every time the U.S. would put up a warning about a certain region, I'd get on a plane and go to that region.
Yeah, but that's
I was
bullshit.
I was very reckless. I used to go. So I went to Basilan. I went to Sulu. I went to Zamboanga many times.
that is
And
Kerala, Sige, Sulu.
I
May
just
nabusay
mean
ko.
those warnings
been to
aren't
Sulu.
true, right? Like if you go to those places, you meet many friendly people, right?
Everyone was friendly.
Yeah, like
I didn't have any issues whatsoever.
yeah, that's what I mean. Whenever anyone says this is ghetto, don't go here, you go there, everyone is nice.
When you're told to get out, I go rushing in, and I've never had an issue. Now I am a big giant person. Maybe they look at me and say it's not worth messing with them. I don't know what they think, but I've never had any problems. I mean, maybe I'm a bigger target too, but I've never had any problems in those areas. The only place I've ever had a problem with was in Manila, and that was 15 years ago. Somebody tried to steal my phone. But that, other than that incident, I can't think of any issue I've ever had in the Philippines, even in the worst of areas with Muslims and everything.
The only problem I ever had the big problem is Barcelona in Europe. That's a dodgy place. Have
What
you
they
been?
do to you? Yeah.
No, I just like I go like I'm fucking young. I'm like 19 or 20. I go live in a hostel and I go to disco with like some random people from the hostel. And then like Las Ramblas, like the main road.
Yeah.
I'm just like walking back an alley like to my room. And there is like two guys, they just stand like I cannot see them, They stand like in the doorway to go to a condo building. So I cannot see them when I walk. So when I pass them, like there's two guys, like the big guy just grabbed me from behind, like he grabbed my shoulders so I can't move. And the small guy like steal my wallet, steal my sunglasses, and steal everything like in my pocket. And that's the first night in Barcelona.
Well, that could happen in any big city, though. Like any
But
big city, it's crime.
like Barcelona is very famous for stealing. Like they will rob you blind for any opportunity they have.
Okay, guys. Time to bed na, guys.
Okay,
Oh,
honey.
honey, oh, you're going to bed.
Yeah, going to bed. It's 2 o'clock here, Big E.
Good night, honey. Hey, Biggie, nice talking to you. I had fun.
Nice talking with you too. Thank you, Honeyco. Are you gonna look at us and say good night?
Yeah, good night, Big E. It's
Where's your
okay to bed.
camera?
Camera
Where's your
again.
camera?
Uh,
So one last thing on the turn-offs. One more time. You had way too much makeup on earlier. That's a turn-off. You don't want to look like a clown. You're not going to a circus, right?
not clown. Not clown.
All right, Honeyco. Good night.
Good night, Big E. Good morning, Philippines. Bye-bye na chat. Bye na chat. Thank you, Philip, JHK, to Big E, Malak 8, Ernest, Steph. Good night. Bye-bye.